Hello, everyone. So my name is Professor William Nagel. I'm an assistant professor in robotics engineering at Widener University and your podcast host today.
I'm Shrestha Rajakumar Deshpande. I'm a research engineer at Southwest Research Institute in the Sustainable Energy and Mobility Directorate, and I'm Billy's co-host for today.
And we're so fortunate to have our guest today is Professor Atul Kelkar, the D.W. Reynolds Distinguished Professor and Department Chair in Mechanical Engineering at Clemson University. And additionally to that, he is the General Chair of the Organizing Committee for the 2023 Modeling, Estimation, and Control Conference at Lake Tahoe, Nevada. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We just wanted to have a short conversation about some of the highlights and the, I guess, events that are going to be at MECC this year. So to kick off this conversation, what are some of those highlights that we can expect to see at Lake Tahoe?
Yeah, so just to give you very brief context to this, this MECC is only the second in-person MECC since this particular conference started. First MECC unfortunately was online because of COVID time. Okay, so this MECC it has a lot of is special for several reasons. So not only that it's just a second MECC in person, but it's also happening during the 80th anniversary of ASME's Dynamic Systems and Control Division birthday basically, and we'll be celebrating that 80th birthday of the division along with the welcome reception event on a scenic cruise on Lake Tahoe. So it's going to be a fabulous event and a fabulous celebration and kickoff for this conference. We have a nice celebration plan, and some of that I will keep a pleasant surprise because we have some things that planned which I want it to be surprise to a lot of members. So I want to give all the details. The event is also held at picturesque Lake Tahoe with mix of great plenary speakers from academia and industry. The topic of plenaries are also the state of the art in the field, such as machine learning, autonomous perception and decision systems for advanced air mobility, and real-time traffic prediction for autonomous vehicles. So these are, as you know, are very current topics, and these are some academicians, some very theoretical, highly theoretical research in these areas, as well as mixed with applied real applications, and also some industry working into these areas will be our speakers. And then also, as you know, DSCD does their award ceremony at this conference during the awards banquet, and that time there will be several big awards will be given. Oldenburger Award, then your Nyquist lecture is there. Nyquist lecture is also on the modeling, control, and design for electrified mobility by Professor Andrew Aline. We have the plenary speakers actually also are very distinguished people. One is Dr. Professor Igor Mesic from UC Santa Barbara. He does work on Kuppman operators and pretty well known in that. He's one of like a founder in that area. Then second one is a aerospace department chair, Professor Ella Atkins at Virginia Tech, and she will talk about that air mobility aspect. And then third one is a NVIDIA Corporation senior person, Nikolai Smolansky, and he will talk about this real-time traffic prediction. So a lot of very rich technical content, but there are many other several sessions, good social events, good food, and a lot of events for students, by the way. And one thing I wanted to point out, this MECC has record number of student registrations, record number.
That's wonderful.
Considering all past DSCCs, MECCs, and ACC, there is a record number of students.
Okay. Yeah, I know I'm contributing, bringing two of my own students, and I didn't want them to miss out on the Lake Tahoe opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're always excited for the technical stuff. So, like the Koopman operator focused plenary, and then the Nyquist lecture from Professor Elaney. Those are going to be wonderful. But that cruise on Lake Tahoe, I mean, you can't miss that. I'm from the Reno Tahoe area, so I
Oh,
can
wow. So
attest.
you know
It
that.
is
Okay.
going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes. So you
Nice.
kind of highlighted some of the bigger, the larger focused events, but are there any special sessions at MEC that maybe have caught your eye?
There are several interesting special sessions. There's one of the session that myself and my former colleague from NSF, when I was NSF director, Robert Landers, we first debuted this session first time at last MECC, called session of the recent career awardees, and that
Hmm.
got really, we received a lot of good feedback and attendance and popularity for that. So this year also I'm continuing that session, and where the recent, in fact we have two of these sessions. There will be recent career awardees. They come and share their ongoing research and also experience of developing a career proposal, and how they were successful and how their career development is going. And this is a very good session, informative session, and really liked by a lot of young faculty who are in that boat trying to go for the
I
career
can agree
award.
to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yes.
So that those will be very popular session. Then we have a poster session on topics ranging from modeling of complex systems, manufacturing advances, several manufacturing posters there, autonomous systems to robotics and data science, lots of different posters. We have a rapid fire session where people will give like a 5 minute quick presentation, and then you go to your poster, and in that 5 minute pitch, it's like a pitch presentation where it also helps you how can you quickly pitch in succinct way idea of your research and attract people to come to your poster and talk about it. So that serves a lot of purpose, right? Then there is a ASME DSCD women's group has arranged a luncheon event for connecting, networking
Wonderful.
with other women and female participants in the DSCD, and that is almost expected to be full 40 some females attendees there, 40 to 50 maybe, and we may be surprised, could be more. Then we have a NSF funding information session, which are again highly attended by all funding aspiring faculty. Then we have a ASME. This is another uh, special session, which is Dynamic Systems and Control Division, Past, Present, and Future. This is basically arranged specially for 80th celebration purpose. We are going to have some very senior DSCD members and some junior as well, and they are going to share. There will be a panelist, and they are going to share, like some historical perspective of DSCD, some nice stories about DSCD and how it evolved, what was the journey of DSCD up to this point, some milestones
Hmm.
on the way, and then junior members or recent members or mid-career members, they will share how the DSCD in their viewpoint has evolved and how they have seen the change or where it's going, and they will talk about what the future is for DSCD. So that will be
Hmm.
great event to attend, and there will be a lot of time for Q&A, because that's where the interesting questions will come up, and we'll get some interesting answers from the panel. And then there's another event that Dr. Danny Abramovich, he arranges. He from Agilent Technologies, and he has a workshop for middle and high school students learning about feedback control. And we already have 60 local
Oh,
area
wow.
middle school and teachers are going to come to that event. So these are just some, and then there are several student events. There's a student best paper award presentations. That session is another special session where people can come and attend to 5 finalists that they're going to present, and then of course the final award will be chosen from that finalist. And then there is also conference best paper award that happens, that will be announced at the award banquet. So a lot of exciting stuff.
There's definitely not a shortage of things to do.
No,
Yeah, so this year, Professor Kelkar, you were mentioning is is marking quite remarkably the 80th anniversary of the ASME Dynamic Systems and Control Division, DSCD. So that goes back to the mid 1940s. So could you just share your thoughts perhaps on this occasion? I know you did mention that there's a special session dedicated towards this. And perhaps your own thoughts on this, and just as a follow-up as well, what do you think we would see in the next 20 years as we get to year 100 of the DSCD?
So, uh, so I don't want to carbon date myself, but I started becoming active in DSCD in 1988. Okay,
Wow.
which still goes quite number of years back, and I don't know how old you guys were that time or whether born or
I was
not, but
-3.
oh, negative. Okay. So this is I'm letting my age out here, but that's
Me
fine.
too.
So that time I joined DSCD, and I can tell you, uh, it is like a family, and it has maintained that culture of the division. It's a group of people primarily from mechanical engineering and related disciplines who are in this interdisciplinary area of control and dynamics and modeling, because that area extends towards other disciplines, right? Electrical, chemical, industrial, civil, uh, now biomedical, biology, robotics, and it has evolved extensively. And That time I was one of the early chairs of the Aerospace Technical Committee. My mentor from NASA actually was instrumental in forming Aerospace Technical Committee for DSCD at the time. Then I took over that. Then I handed it over to Leonesa. He's now current NSA program director. And Yeah, and that committee, uh, as the aerospace became in late 90s, or I think mid 90s, I forgot exact time, but aerospace was kind of downturn, and a lot of aerospace departments merged with ME. The aerospace technical committee kind of was sunset, and the work continued, right? I mean, it's just that everybody is still working on a lot of NASA contracts and stuff, but the new emerging areas started coming up, right? So you look at the current technical committees, you have energy systems and you have biosystems. Those are all the new committees, and robotics and autonomous systems. So the technical committees is one outlet where people can participate, get technically active, and technical committees are the ones who bring those new technical sessions to these conferences. And DSCD has evolved over this period, and you will get to hear in that panel. We have some very senior people. They will be, even much senior than myself. I won't call older. Senior is a good word. Uh, and they will tell us some lot of good experiences. And of course, surprise celebrations on the cruise, I'm not going to talk about. That is why everybody listening to this podcast has to come
Absolutely.
to that event.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is at a place where you can't beat the hotel prices. Even if you don't get the conference rate because you're late, the hotel rate there is like 1/3 of what you pay in other conferences.
Right.
So that alone may want to come there. Bring your family.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's super exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just shifting gears a little bit, back to the conference. Now, when did, from a personal standpoint, when did preparations for this conference begin? Being the general chair, could you share, your journey and through this? And I think the listeners in this community would like to understand some of the major milestones that went into this process, as well as some of the challenges, right, in running such a huge international conference like MECC. So could we get some insights, Professor
Sure.
Kelkar?
So one of the thing is I have worked on several organizing committees, okay, in a different role, exhibit chair or the finance chair or maybe some special sessions chair. So I've done a lot of different roles in this committee, and that experience is very useful because you know what goes in these committees, and you initially take the smaller responsibilities when you are in your career growing and trying to be active in this, right? And then when you become general chair, it's still a big jump because as they say, the buck stops here. You become responsible for everything. Now, typically, some of these conferences, believe it or not, but the location decision, the proposal where the conference should be held, is done by a general chair and program chair almost sometimes like 3 to 5 years ahead of time.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And then the locations are decided because then 2 years before the conference, you start negotiating with that hotel, go and find which will be the best place to hold the conference. You down select the cities, then you down select the hotels or the venues, then you have to make a visit, figure out those dates will work or not. That's why you have to start that early because you may not get the dates you want. And our conferences are typically set in certain weeks of the month, right? Certain months. So we need to start early. Then once you have that nailed down, you need to start recruiting people couple years ahead for different committee roles. And then once you get the committee together, now you have to start planning the conference. What is special about the conference you're going to have? How many technical sessions you are thinking? Then you start brainstorming. You have a master calendar that goes in you are 24th month away, 23rd month away, and each month, each of the chair of the committee member, what roles they have to and what deadlines they have to meet each of those month, and everything has to happen that month to keep you on track. Okay, so that's a lot of work, and the MECC especially was challenging because, as you know, MECC is evolved. It's new. It used to be DSCC conference before. Now MECC has become a co-sponsored by A Square C Square and and IFAC, right? And that lot of paperwork, lot of behind the scene agreements between those committees was still going on until this MECC. So there are a lot of things that caused some delays for getting the kickstart of a lot of work of this conference, like putting the CFP out because some of the agreements were still not in place. Putting out the website because all the logos that we needed to use were still needed to be approved. So we had a very compressed timeline. The moral of the story is that we had to work on a timeline of literally compressed to 70% or 60%, and we had to fast track everything. And that was a lot of work, a lot of fun though, but you need good committee. And my committee, I am blessed to have a great committee members that have helped a great deal. Everybody, the editorial board, the CEB chair, then program chair, the local arrangements chair, registration chair, publicity chair, publications chair. Everybody's role is so critical, and uh, we have a great team, and I think we are ready. We are ready.
That's good. I know.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
have still 1 week to find out how ready we are, but
I know.
we are ready.
We're excited from an attendee perspective for sure. Wonderful. Well, so I think we've taken a good amount of time. I know that I'm even more excited for MECC than I was at the beginning of this conversation. But to kind of close up the talk here, well, thank you so much, Atul, for taking the time to talk with us. I'm very excited for MEC. It's just a week away. If you haven't bought your registration, if you haven't gotten your hotel, definitely do that. 100% recommended. And thank you again so much.
Thank you very much. You're doing a great job with this podcast. I again urge everybody to come and attend, and you will see that this is a conference where you are going to get more than your money's worth. Okay, so please come and attend.
Great.
Thank you so much, Professor Kelkar, for your time. And yeah, see you both at MECC.
See
Yeah,
you soon. Yeah, thanks. Bye.